Welcome to Unlocking Your Truth, another podcast by Dr. Lesley Phillips.
Hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley. My name is Dr. Lesley Phillips and I will be your host for the next hour along with Corey.
Hello everybody, it's me.
Hey Corey. Well, if you're a regular listener, you'll know that Unlocking Your Truth is a talk show and that we focus on metaphysics and spirituality on this show, and tonight is no exception. We're going to be talking about the energy field, the human energy field, and I'm going to cover 10 practices to see your aura, and are they fact or fiction? Now, listeners, you are welcome to call the show and join in the discussion. You're welcome to phone us up and ask your questions. The number in the studio is 604-504-7442, extension 4142. And if you're a bit shy and you don't want to be heard on air, then you can email info@drlesleyphillips.com. And once again, Unlocking Your Truth is a talk show about metaphysics and spirituality. And like I said, tonight is no exception because we are going to be talking about the aura, the human energy field. And all right, so let's begin.
That's a good place to start.
Yes.
Beginning.
Yes. Corey, were you talking a moment ago? Because I could see your lips moving through the glass and I couldn't hear you.
Yes, I was on mute because that was me phoning you. I was calling I wanted to get a reading. But I guess you didn't want to give me one because you hung up on me.
No, because no number came up on the phone, and I couldn't see that you dialed the phone. All right.
We'll do it another time.
Yeah, we should get on with the show, really.
Okay, it sounds like fun.
Okay, so your aura, it's the energy field that surrounds your physical body. And being able to read auras can help you to learn about yourself and other people on all levels of reality. So by being able to read somebody's aura, you can get information about their health, about their emotional well-being, about their mental stability, and you can look at their spiritual growth by looking at their energy field. You can even learn about their preferences and their beliefs and be able to see into their memories, their hopes, their dreams, and all of that. So wouldn't you like to be able to read somebody's energy field? What about you, Corey? Would you like to be able to do that?
Are you asking me?
Yes.
Wow. Oh, I like that. I get asked the question. Yes, actually, reading an energy field is very useful in many different ways. I mean, it's wonderful because you can see when people are being people themselves, and you can see whether they're feeling well. You can see whether they're unhappy and things like that, especially if you can read them properly, as opposed to me who was always making mistakes.
As opposed to, what did you say?
As opposed to me who's always making mistakes and not reading them properly.
I see. So folks, if you're a newbie to this and you want to learn how to read an energy field and you do what most people do, which is Google, you're going to get an enormous amount of information from people with varying degrees of knowledge and expertise. and it can get really confusing. So what's the best way to learn to read the aura, and how can you discern which is the best information so that you don't waste your time and energy? So this afternoon I Googled on the internet to see what people said.
Are you saying Google is psychic?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is I looked to see what people were saying was a good way to read the human energy field, so that we could give our listeners a guide about what might work and what might not work for them. And so, the first one that came up was, do you remember those magic eye puzzles from like the 1970s? I guess they still have them now. And they're
magic eye puzzle?
Yeah, these books, and they're these images, and you stare at it, and eventually there's an image in there. So one of the top ways that came up on Google was to train yourself by looking at a magic eye image, because that will train the brain to see hidden pictures. And the idea is to relax your eyes and play with different points of focus so that the filters of your mind, which say what you see is what you get, are removed. So that was number one that came up on Google. And I'm going to give a comment about all of these in a moment. So I'm going to go through 6 of them, and then we're going to talk about it. So number 1 was train yourself to read auras by looking at magic eye puzzles. Number 2 was to look at the energy field around your hands. So to hold your hands against a plain background with the fingers of one hand overlapping the other, and then gaze at your hands again with a relaxed and soft focus in your eyes, and then to very slowly move the fingertips apart, and that by watching the gap in between the fingers, you may get to see a trail of energy connecting the fingers of one hand to the other. So that was method number 2 that I found. And method number 3 was to stand in front of the mirror and look at yourself, and again relax and stare at yourself with a soft gaze into the space just behind your head or behind your shoulder, and then just be patient, and says that your aura will eventually appear. You might catch a glimpse of colours or a light energy outline. Method number 4, if you ever attend speaking events, that can be an opportunity to watch someone else's energy field, and the presenter is usually at the front of the room with a plain background. So that can be an opportunity to practice seeing auras by observing the speaker with a soft and gentle stare, and a light or a coloured energy might appear behind their body, and you might be able to see their energy field dancing around them as they become enthusiastic and passionate about what they're talking about. Method number 5, observing plants and rocks and crystals, because everything has an energy field. So gazing at your favourite potted plant or a leaf in your garden, and looking for the energy field that surrounds all life. And so again, you place it in front of you on a plain background and softly stare past the border of the object and relax as the aura of the plant appears. And then, you can notice how vibrant the plant is by how wide the energy field is. And then method number 6 is again out in nature. If you live near a forest or a mountain range, on a sunny day, go outside, relax, and stare at the treetops or stare at the mountain tops. And again, with that same soft and gentle, slightly out of focused gaze, and you might see glowing energy between the treetops and the sky, or between the mountain and the sky. So all of those 6 methods can be successful to some degree and can allow you to see the aura in my opinion, they're not the best way. And the reason is this, because in all of those methods, you've got your physical eyes open, which is not a great way to go about it when you're first learning to see the aura, because you don't see auras with your physical eyes. The energy field is normally outside of the range of normal human vision. And what happens when you use a method like that is your physical eyes are open, your intellect is engaged, and they tend to put you into effort, and what you see visually and what you're thinking about with your intellect will interfere. So, yes, Corey?
I didn't mean to interrupt you. You almost pushed the question out of my head. You were so quick on that. How does one really recognize? Because I see auras sometimes, and what I do is, especially when I'm watching people talking to crowds, I can see their auras. And how do I? And for me, I know I'm not seeing it with my eyes completely. I am seeing it with my psychic abilities as well. But I don't close my eyes, but I know what I'm seeing. How does someone actually who's starting this actually recognize that they're seeing it with their eyes and their psychic ability? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I do, and I'm actually going to answer that question in a few moments.
Okay.
At the end, when I talk about the best method to train yourself to see the aura. Because the point is right now is, yes, that can be quite confusing, where you've got your physical eyes open and yet you're seeing something with your spiritual eyes, and you've got both of those signals coming in.
Exactly.
And so, yes, how do you tell the difference? How do you not know that you're just blurring your eyes and concocting something with your brain? And the other, back to those 6 methods that I talked about. So the reason they're confusing is because you're tuning in with your physical senses, and you've got your logical brain engaged. But it is true that your brain does have to find a way to sort of collate or process the spiritual information so that you can express your spiritual information in physical reality. But there are some specific practices that make all of this much, much easier to do than those methods, which tend to be the methods that most people will write about on the internet. So let's talk about a couple of other ways, and then we'll go into what is the best way to do it. So another one, and I separated it out from the first 6 because it's a little bit different, is so sometimes, I'm sure you've all had the experience, listeners, of seeing heat waves radiating from the tar on a hot day or coming out of the heat vents in your house. And or another experience is if you've ever been to a mineral spa or you've soaked your feet in a salt bath, you may have seen light or energy around your fingers or your toes. And I think that's a combination of 2 things, right? So you're seeing the energy in the visible range of the eyes, because what's happening is that you're leaching impurities into the water. So there's some kind of chemical reaction or exchange that's going on between the toxins in your skin and the salt bath. But at the same time, the refractory index of the water is different, and you can see some lights as well. So I think another method that's like 1 to 6 is sitting in a salt bath or a mineral spa. You may see lights around your body, but again, at the same time, there's stuff going on with the physical eyes as well. Method number 8 is aura photography or Kirlian photography. So there are types of photography that have been invented that are meant to allow you to see the energy field. And what Kirlian photography does is it applies a high voltage to an object and then collects the discharges from the object on a photographic plate. And aura photography is a little bit different because that's based on biofeedback. and software. So it's taking some biofeedback data and then creating it into an image. And both techniques do create a visual representation of the energy field. But what I've also noticed is that people doing this tend to use very rudimentary and intellectual systems for interpreting the colors that are seen. And they don't reveal as much information as a clairvoyant reading does. For example, they don't show what chakra a particular emanation or color is coming from, and they don't show the relationship between a particular color and a particular thing that's going on in somebody's life. So what they tend to do is say your aura is blue, and that means you're a calm person, or here's some red in it. So they have a very simple, more intellectually based system for describing what's going on.
When we're looking at an aura, to help the listeners out a little bit, and myself as well, I guess, when we're looking at an aura, like, is it thick? Is it, can you see through it? What's it actually look like?
So I'll tell you what it looks like. And it depends on the person's aura, of course. But it is let's see. It's a field of interpenetrating layers of energy, which are at different vibrations and can be perceived by clairvoyant vision as different colors. So it looks like it looks like energy clouds. It looks a little bit like that Kirlian photography, except with your clairvoyant vision, you can focus on a particular layer or another, or one layer or another. So, for example, if I wanted to just look at the first layer of your energy field emanating from your first chakra, I could do it. So so there's a discernment that's possible with the clairvoyant vision. But what does it look like? It looks like energy clouds, vibrational fields of energy surrounding a person. And there are many colors, and they are moving and they are dynamic. They are not static.
But is there a specific thickness to them? Are they narrower? Are they thicker? How far out will they come generally?
It depends on the person, and there's no generally. And so some layers of a person's energy field may be very wide, and other layers may be very narrow. Some layers may go all the way around the body, some layers may not. And so it really depends, and it's completely based on the individual and what's going on in the present moment for that individual. So I'm going to continue with the last couple of points about this. And so I've got two more pieces of advice that relate to being able to see the energy field. And so number 9 on my list is awaken your third eye. Learn to consciously operate your clairvoyance. Clairvoyant sight is, like I said earlier, it's different to physical sight. It's one of your spiritual gifts. It's how you see as spirit. And this is the best way to see the aura. And the way to activate your third eye is to seat your consciousness in the pineal gland and in your 6th chakra. And because this is your way to be able to see energy. And then also by activating the 6th chakra, you can learn to translate energy, symbols, pictures, and communicate them to other people. And actually what I should have mentioned when Corey asked what does an aura look like is, you know what? It contains images, pictures, videos, symbols, all sorts of structured units of electromagnetic energy that provide information about you. So, and then the other tip is raise your vibration. Heal yourself. It looks like we've got somebody coming through. Hang on. Sorry, Corey, I just lost the caller. All right, so listeners, I'm just going to go back to what I was saying, which is raising your vibration, healing yourself. That's important in developing your spiritual gifts. To do that is, release the heavier, denser energies, release the doubt and fear, let go of negative thoughts and limiting beliefs, because they block your ability to see auras. They keep your vibration low. as spirit, your vibration is very high. And to operate consciously as spirit, you need to spiritualize your body so that it has the capacity to allow your high vibration energy to flow through it. So it's important for you, if you're wanting to use your gifts, to heal yourself first and practice by clearing and healing and reading your own aura first, and then look at other people's aura, and because then you'll be looking through a clean window as opposed to a dirty filter. So in conclusion, listeners, on Unlocking Your Truth tonight, we've been looking at the different practices that you can use to see your aura, to see your energy field, and asking, are they fact or fiction? And there was something in all of them, but the ones that I recommend are the last two that I spoke about, methods 9 and 10. Awaken your third eye, learn how to consciously use your clairvoyance, and raise your vibration and heal yourself. So if you're serious about being able to read auras, develop your clairvoyance and heal yourself and raise your vibration through meditation. Commit to your spiritual growth by having a daily meditation practice. Set your goal to see auras as an intention, and you must be grounded to operate as spirit through your body. You must be centered to activate your third eye. And the biggest trap in all the information that we found is confusion between body and spirit. So remember, you're not your physical body, and you don't see auras with your physical eyes. So find a teacher who knows their stuff and can help you to meditate correctly for your spiritual development and to allow your clairvoyance. So, listeners, we're going to go to a break. We'll be taking your calls after the break. And, of course, the phone number here is it's 604-504-7441, extension 4142. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley. Tonight on Unlocking Your Truth, we have been talking about auras and how to see auras and what's the best way to go about seeing an aura. And we've been looking at all the things that come up on Google and asking fact or fiction, will they help you or not? And now, listeners, it's the time in the show where we take your calls. And we do have somebody hanging on the end of the phone. Hello, listener. Hello, listener.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Who am I talking to?
This is Summer.
Hi, Summer. And what's your question?
Hi. Well, I wanted to ask you about the third eye chakra, the sixth chakra.
Right.
I know you had mentioned that would be one of the ways that would help with seeing auras and seeing the energy fields. And I've been meditating for a long time now, and when I meditate, I can see things, and I feel like my third eye is activated. I can see it, I see the colors and everything. I feel like it's open, but when I'm, just normal day to day, I can't see the auras or the energy, or I don't see any kind of spirit or anything like that. So I was just kind of wondering how to make that,
well,
jump from
sure.
meditation to,
and I'll answer that. And I hope I didn't give people the wrong impression as well at the beginning of the show, because, of course, you've got two realities going on. You've got physical reality and non-physical reality, and they are different. And so, of course, meditation and meditating on your third eye and being in the center of your head is the best way for you to be able to see energy. And so, but if you want to be able to do that while you're walking around and focusing on physical reality at the same time, what I would just say is, let's see. So let me ask you, why do you want to do that?
Why do I want to see?
Why do you want to be able to see energy while you're walking around?
Well, part of it is I want to connect with my guides and my spirit guides and things like that. And part of it, I want to see auras and just energy, you know, in general. I just feel, but part of the reason why I feel like I can't is I'm not letting myself see it, you know, like I'm afraid to see it a little bit. So I think that might be part of the problem. I might have some kind of block there. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. So, let's see. When I'm doing an aura reading, I go into a different state of consciousness where I tune out physical reality and I tune into spiritual reality. That's called a trance. And I do that when I'm meditating in a safe place. And what you're doing in that way of setting up your energy field is you're specifically altering the chakras so that you're tuning out physical reality, so closing down the lower ones a little bit and focusing more on the higher aspects. It's not safe to walk around in physical reality in a trance. You could injure yourself, and you're vulnerable in that state. And so that's the first thing. And the way to train yourself to see auras is to do it through meditation first.
Okay.
But then, you know, I guess over time and by practicing it a lot, it becomes second nature. But I'm certainly, for example, I've been doing this for 20 years, and I'm certainly not wandering around with all of that spiritual information bombarding me at the same time while I'm tuning into physical reality. So I feel to some degree you have to make a choice. I'm focusing on physical reality now, and I'm focusing more on a spiritual reality now.
Okay.
Because
that makes sense.
Yeah, because they're not the same. They're not the same states of consciousness to access them either. And so, you know, I guess what we should have made that clear at the beginning, because a lot of what people advocate as a way to see the aura, like I said, it's focused on the physical eyes and the intellect, which isn't the way to see the aura at all. And the best way to start being able to see it is actually with your physical eyes closed in meditation, focusing on the center of your head, which is where your third eye is, and tuning into it that way. And so, now you said you meditate, and you said that you see things when you meditate.
Yes.
So what do you see when you meditate?
Well, I see I see someone who I believe is a spirit guide. Sometimes I see my aunt who passed away. Sometimes I see things that I think she's trying to show me. You know, like there's a house that I want to buy, and her name happens to be in the name of the street. And, you know, a few days ago, I didn't realize that, you know, her first name was Mary, and the name of the street is Marwick, and it's spelled MARWYCK. And, you know, I saw that she was kind of writing that to show me. So I see things like that. But then I see scenes that I think maybe from my past, like, you know, past lives,
yes.
Like scenes from hundreds of years ago and things like that.
Yeah. So at the moment, it sounds like with your clairvoyance, you are seeing non-physical reality. You know, like people who've passed on, or past lives, or talking to your spirit guides. So all you need to do to see an aura is just switch your focus and intention, basically. So be meditating like you're meditating, and then decide, I want to read my own energy field. and ask to see what color is what are the main colors in my energy field at the moment, and see what happens. See if you start to actually see with your third eye some colors. And if you're familiar with the chakra system, then you can ask, well, what's the color emanating from my first chakra? What's the color emanating from my second chakra? And so on. So it seems like you're well on your way. It's just that it's just about focusing what you're looking at and controlling and deciding what you want to look at while you're in that meditative space.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
You. It does, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Summer, for calling. Sorry we lost you.
No. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, well, bye for now.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, listeners, well, you're listening to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley. We're broadcasting... we've got another caller. That's great. Hello, who am I talking to? Hello,
Lesley.
listener.
Hello.
Hi, who's this?
Elena, how are you, Lesley?
I'm good, Elena, and how are you?
Oh, not bad. I'm just going to turn up my phone. I think it's hard to hear. Hold on. Yeah, it sounds far away. I think that happened before.
Yes.
Oh, there.
Your voice is a little bit funny on air, actually. It's a bit crackly.
Oh, okay. I'll go in another spot. Maybe that'll help.
Mm.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if maybe I could have a general look as to what is coming up for me, because I just feel all this turmoil, and I just wanted maybe some information around that.
All right, so you're feeling turmoil, emotional turmoil?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's take a look for you. Just relax, and I'm going to do what I was talking to that other listener about, which is tune out physical reality and tune into more spiritual reality and start to look at your energy field.
Okay.
Well, it looks like you're in a kind of a healing growth cycle, and it looks like you've brought up a bunch of pain to clear. And to me, it looks like it doesn't even all relate to this lifetime. It looks like a lot of it is connecting to past lives. And so, we recently went through another big energy shift, and so people are really bringing up a lot of stuff to clear again. So what I'm seeing is that there's, let's see, I'm seeing this beautiful yellow energy, which is you, and focusing on stepping into joy and a higher vibration and a happier feelings. And then I'm seeing that in the body right now, that some pain has been lit up, and it's just about you clearing the pain like you know how to do, so that you're releasing it and letting it go. It doesn't look... I think that the problem is that you're going, I feel in pain, and trying to find the circumstances to point at, to say, that's what's causing it. When I'm actually, instead of just going, oh, okay, well, here's some pain, I know how to clear it, let me ground, let me release it, and letting it go. Because I'm seeing it sort of not even necessarily relating to a specific event that you can point at, to be honest.
It's just stuff in my space from previous lifetimes, and
yeah, it just looks like a layer that you brought up that you're wanting to let go of. And it's sort of like a healing that you're doing in the current body that has reverberations to other lifetimes and vice versa kind of thing. But I mean, I'll see if I can see anything specific. No, you're bringing old stuff into present time and letting it go. That's really what it is. Just old stuff coming up that's not relevant today, and letting it go.
Like, some anger that's come up for me was around nothing specific, but just in general about just not getting what I want from relationships.
Not getting what you want from what?
Relationships.
Oh, relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that seems like what you asked for is a healing on the level of releasing what's blocking you from having what you want in relationships. And so it just looks like you brought up. So if we were to say what's in the pain, it looks like a lot of what's in the pain is what you're wanting to let go of, that's in your way of allowing yourself to create the relationships that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like you're wanting to complete a cycle that goes through many lifetimes and not just this lifetime. And if it looks like it's peeling off of you, the way that it looks to me, it's almost like a postage stamp that you peel off an envelope. It's sort of, it looks like it would be quite easy for you to let it go if you could, like, not dwell on it and not need to find an explanation and just go, oh.
That's exactly what I was doing, analyzing it and going in it and everything. And it's really fascinating what you said about how we just hit another energy shift. Because I was seeing that too. Like, it's just that everybody seems to be going through something. Or I could feel it almost like something happened. Yeah. Have you been talking about that on another show or today? Or?
No, we haven't been talking about it on another show, but I'll just validate that you're correct, that this month really there's been another big shift, and therefore we're all experiencing the transition into another new vibrationary level. And as always, it means that we bring up and let go of what isn't in resonance with that new vibratory level, or suffer because now we're more aware of what isn't in resonance with it.
Yeah.
So I would, Elena, I would just do what I said. It's like, oh, I don't need to know what this is. All I need to do is let it go.
Right, exactly.
Because you don't need to dwell on it. You can just shift. It looks like it's like I'm seeing the energy level. I'm seeing what you're wanting to shift into very clearly, and it's very close to you. And the only thing that's stopping you from is you just need to let go of it without thinking about it. Just let it go.
Right. Yes, great. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for calling.
I'll talk to you later. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, Corey.
Okay, listeners, we are going to go to another break, and the phone lines are open, by the way, so you can call us on 604-504-7441, extension 4142, and you can email info@drlesleyphillips.com. We'll be back shortly. Hello, listeners. Welcome back to Unlocking Your Truth with Dr. Lesley. My name is Dr. Lesley Phillips, and I am your host, and we're here with Corey answering your questions in the final part of the show. You can call 604-504-7441, extension 4142, or email info@drlesleyphillips.com. So, Corey, do we have some listeners' questions by email?
Oh, I've got pages and pages of them.
I know.
Okay, this first one is from Nan. Nan's asked, what is the source of my extreme fatigue and lack of energy? I have suffered from this for many years. Thank you for your help, Dr. Lesley.
Oh, okay. Let's take a look. Well, I can see what you mean. So I'll do a little bit of healing, because the first thing that comes up when I look at you is, your third chakra. That's the energy center that relates to energy distribution. and your ability to assimilate and distribute energy throughout your body. And it's it definitely not looking like it should. So I'm going to help bring it into present time. It looks like it looks like your third chakra is pretty closed down, and it's blocked up with a lot of past time energy, and your physical body is kind of annoyed and irritated and frustrated and trying to forcibly change it, but it looks like it's not something that... So let's see. Wow. Yeah, it looks like you really need some repair work on your third chakra, so this might not be too entertaining, listeners, because I'm just going to work on this lady's third chakra and see if we can get the energy to start moving. And I'm not seeing anything about the source of why this is like this and why it happened. Sometimes I need to move the energy off before I can get that information. So while I'm working on a Cori, if you see anything to say, feel free. But in the meantime, I'm just going to work on seeing if we can help you. And it looks like it's like a feeling of complete disempowerment. Like you're not stepping into and owning your own power and your own energy at all. It's like you feel like you don't have any power. And of course, that's not true. That's a lie. But in the belief that you don't, then you're closing down your third chakra. And it looks like you're afraid. It looks like you're afraid of healing yourself because you're afraid of what you might see about why you turned your power down. And that's what I'm seeing. It's like, and it feels like something happened to you when you were a child, and that it was something that really made you feel very powerless, and you didn't want to be seen or shine brightly because you didn't want to get attention, and that's why this has happened to you. So so we can give you information on the show, but if you want some more in-depth healing work, I suggest that you might want to contact me. Cori, did you see anything that you wanted to share?
Yeah, I got something very similar to what you got. What I got is that there was she had a trauma when she was young.
Yeah.
And it was a heart-centered trauma. Something happened where a loved one, like a father, I'm getting father figure, became very cold towards her for some reason, and it's her heart. It's affected her heart and relationships throughout her life. And it could be wrong, but I'm seeing that right now. What's happened is the emotional trauma has caught up to her physical being, and she's just not, her energy level, her aura around her main life aura, her main life essence is low. It needs to be brought up. However, most people will go out of themselves to look for that, to fill that cup. But that's something that she has to fill from within. Otherwise, she'll never. She's just going to go through this series over and over and over. It's a cyclical thing. It just keeps going around and around.
Yeah, and I'll exactly. And when you were talking about the fourth chakra, I took a look at it, and yes, I'm seeing that that's also closed down. I was focusing on the third chakra because that's the sort of energy distribution center. But I'm also seeing, Nan, that you're actually quite resistant to receiving a healing on this, and it's because of the intense fear of becoming aware of the origins of this. So on the one hand, you ask what the origins of it are, but I'm also seeing you're afraid to find out, and so this might be something that requires some more significant healing work and focus to help you make a shift. But we've given you the answer to your question, which is it looks like there's a trauma that happened to you when you were very young that caused you to turn down your power and to feel powerless and to not want to turn your power up. So all of those things all together. So the origin is a trauma in childhood, and the solution is to allow yourself to go there. And I would suggest find someone to help you to go there, to work with you, to assist you in opening that up again and releasing it, and allowing the energy to flow through your system, because the energy's not really flowing through the third chakra. And like Corey said, there's a block in the fourth chakra as well. And I was going to say something else and it's gone out of my head, so give me a moment. No, I guess I'm not meant to say it because it's gone out of my head. No, it's not coming to me. Give me one. We're nearly at the end of the show, listeners, but I'm just going to take 1 minute to see if I can grab that piece of information for this lady. Oh, yes, that's what I was going to say. People are often afraid to dig into their past when there's been trauma because they think that they are going to have to re-experience the pain to the same degree and extent that they experienced it at the time. It's not true. You don't have to re-experience it, but you do have to be willing to go there and clear it. You can heal it without re-experiencing the pain. And I wanted to say that to you because I'm hoping that will help you to let go of the resistance.
It's sort of like bumping your head and then refusing to, you've had the bump, you've gone through the pain, it's not sore anymore, and then just refusing to think about that because you're afraid that the pain will come back from the bump. And you'll feel like bumping your head again, but that's not it. You can remember the issue and actually remove that trauma very easily once it's done.
So we're at the end of today's show, Corey.
Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
And next week we have Dr. John McGrail on.
That's right. We're interviewing somebody next week, folks. So look forward to that.
Isn't that wonderful?
Mm-hmm.
For my notes on him, but I can't find my notes on him. So
anyway, it will definitely be something fabulous, folks. So listen in, and we'll see you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining us. You've been listening to another Unlocking Your Truth podcast by Dr. Lesley Phillips. For more information, go to our website at drlesleyphillips.com. That's drlesleyphillips.com, where you can ask questions or send her an email, and there's many free gifts on there for you as well. Come back again.